Let's get some drama. Give me some petty, squabbly drama. Okay, let's do this one. Am I the asshole for taking the vegetables off of my kids' burgers? Is it like taking the kids' ice cream away? Who knows? This feels like a trick question. We'll see. I don't even know the context, and this post is making me tired. That's the title that go either way with the context. That's what we're here for, baby. Okay, here we go. I, 39F, have 3 kids, 6F, 9M, and 12F. My husband, 40M, and I decided a few days ago to take the kids to our local restaurant as a treat because we don't do that often. My husband is a bit of a health nut and is very restrictive of the foods my kids eat, which is the main source of our arguments. On Thursday, we went to the restaurant and the kids were super excited. The server was asking what my kids wanted when my 12-year-old, we'll call her Emily, said, cheeseburger with bacon. My husband butted in and said, with lettuce and tomato. Emily's face immediately fell. My husband didn't even notice, and Emily looked super bummed. After the server took our orders, my husband turned to Emily and asked her what's wrong. She said that she didn't want the lettuce and tomato on her burger because she doesn't like them. He sighed and said that they've been through this a million times and having vegetables with every meal was super important. Emily looked like she was about to cry. She is neurodivergent and a lot of food tastes and textures really bother her. Wow. Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, this man, I am suddenly fueled with rage. A white man? No. Tomatoes being a large one. My husband doesn't seem to care, which really bothers me. When the food came, Emily didn't even touch her burger. So when my husband went to the bathroom, I took the lettuce and tomato off the burger, put them on mine, and winked at Emily. She grinned and gladly ate her burger. My husband didn't say anything about it until that night. He told me that taking the vegetables off was a violation of his trust. I need tiny violin music when the egos of a white man are infringed upon and they feel so bad. You know what I mean? Also, butting in with the lettuce and tomato is a huge violation of the daughter's autonomy. Snaps. Okay. I'm not even done with the post yet, but he told me that taking the vegetables off was a violation of his trust because he was just looking out for our daughter. I told him that it was just one meal and not having vegetables once wasn't a big deal. He said that those vegetables were very important. I left the room and have been talking to him as little as possible. So Reddit, am I the asshole for taking the vegetables off my daughter's burger? I think I might be the asshole because it's just lettuce and tomato and my kids having vegetables is really important to my husband. But I feel like he was being super controlling and I never want to see my child upset. You are sticking out for the autonomy of your daughter. They're allowed to have wants, likes, dislikes. They're allowed to make choices. She's also 12. This is a treat. You are treating your kids. You said this. You said this. You are taking your kids out as a treat and then not allowing them to pick what they want as their treat. There's an update here. Let's read it. I went to bed when this post had about 200 comments and 50-something upvotes. Now there's 5.8 thousand upvotes and 1.8 thousand comments. I've been reading through a ton of them, and my heart is breaking for everyone who is sharing their stories with eating disorders and their relationship with food. Yeah! Fuck off, Dad! I have decided to discuss with my older two about getting into therapy. I'm still trying to figure out what to do with my dick for a husband. Divorce is a serious contender. It's not very often. It's not very often we get the payout. We get the catharsis of a confirmed throw the relationship I I would have considered it sooner, but I always thought it would be better for the kids if we stayed together. No, it's not. I've now realized that my husband is harming my children in ways that could be life-threatening. I'm thinking about taking the kids over to my parents' house for the week because I don't think I can handle my husband doing this stuff to my babies. Thank you all for your support, and I really appreciate it. I will update later about what I've decided to do.
Why are we still here?
Oh, sevens for the shitty dad. You done fucked up, Aaron. Get shit on your ass.
Feel my leg.
Let your kids like things.
Even my fingers.
A concept.
The body I've lost.
A very, very easy not the asshole. Hang on, I gotta do this one. Will I be the asshole if I took my Legos back from my mom's classroom? I had 8 large storage totes of Legos when I left home for college. Besides a few family heirlooms, I told them the only thing I wanted were my Legos. They could get rid of anything else. I even offered to come pick them up and store them with me while I was in college, so they weren't a burden. My mom said it was fine. She would keep them stored. Great. Flash forward about 12-ish years, and I've got a 5-year-old son and a 3-year-old daughter, who are quickly approaching Lego age. My wife and I are buying a home. I will have a decent-sized area upstairs above the garage that we intend to turn into the playroom. I was talking to my wife about my plans. I wanted to put in padded flooring, build a fort-style structure in one corner, maybe build into the crawl space a tunnel-type system or something, and I wanted to make an area that could be dedicated to the Legos. My wife seemed a little cagey about the plans. It would cost a bit of money, set our expectations down, etc. I obviously didn't plan on anything happening overnight. Is this for the kids? Is this for the kids, my friend? Is it for the kids, or is this for you? I think it's for you. But you know what? Live your inner child. You know what? Feed and love and nourish that inner child, baby. A few weeks later, we're getting ready to head to Easter at my mom's house. I tell my wife I want to take our truck because I plan on grabbing the Legos from her place and bring them home. And my wife gets a little cagey again. I sense that she knows something, and she finally admits it. My mom took the Legos to her classroom. My mom is a middle school, 6th to 8th grades, special education teacher in our town, and my wife is an assistant in her classroom. I guess several years ago, my mom took the Legos to the classroom for the kids to play with. Oh no. I told my wife I would just get the Legos from the class at the end of the school year. However, my wife thinks I should let it go. Some of the kids really love the Legos, and they would have a hard time if they came in after a summer away, which is already pretty hard, change and whatnot, to find out the Legos are gone. We talked about potentially buying some Legos from Craigslist for the kids to use, but I definitely wanted my Legos back. A lot of them tend to be older. Tons were my dad's Legos when he was growing up, so I definitely want those ones. At Easter, my sister got roped into the discussion with my wife and I, and she agreed with my wife. While we both enjoyed the Legos a lot as kids, I would be an asshole if I took my Legos back from the classroom. They both suggested starting a new collection for our kids so they can love and enjoy those ones as they grow up, but I just don't agree. Part of the reason why they were so special to me was because they were handed down to me and I got to add to them. I was hoping to be able to do that here. Would I be an asshole if I took the Legos back at the end of the year? Everyone sucks here. Mom and wife for using the Legos without asking, an OP for waiting 12 years to ask for the Legos back. Right. Vintage Legos, you can't replace those. Right, exactly. That's why split the pile. 8 boxes is also a lot, not the asshole. I am inclined to say not the asshole. I'm inclined to say not the asshole. Because the mom was like, yes, I'll store them for you, and then didn't ask to use them for her classroom. And now is like, oh, but the kids love them so much, they'll be so upset. You didn't ask in the first place. You agreed to store these Legos and then used them for something else. And yeah, and then 3 people went behind his back. His own wife knew that this happened and then didn't say anything. Like, regardless of what it is, Legos or not. I don't know why people can't just communicate with one another. Because if they did, we wouldn't have half of these posts. We wouldn't have 99% of Am I the Asshole posts to make content out of. That's why. Mom and wife are the asshole. Mom agreed to store. Wife kept it secret. They were vintage. OP is not the asshole. Mom and wife, Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Healthy communication would solve so many people's problems. Oh God, right? And the rare posts that we get where they do an edit, like emotions are big, right? Big emotion can make you do some silly shit. We have only had like 1 or 2 posts where the edit had come in later and said, we talked it out after we had both simmered down. We had a healthy discussion. We established boundaries. We made up. We both realized we were in the wrong. I realized I was in the wrong, whatever the resolution was. And we made it work afterwards. I fucking love those ones. It's so nice. Someone said this to me once, might have been my therapist, but who knows? She says a lot. If you can't talk about the elephant in the room with a person, is the relationship healthy or worth your time? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh yeah, and he did say they could finish the year. I did like that part. They were like, yeah, I'll get them at the end of the year. They can still use them. OP even offered to buy other Lego to replace. Yeah. Let's see what Reddit has to say though. Top comment, not the asshole. Your mom could have asked you first. Those were Legos started by your dad, so there is a sentimental value. That's something you want to share with your kids, so it's only fair you take the Legos back. Not the asshole. Your mom and your sneaky wife can buy replacement Lego on Craigslist first. Your sneaky wife. Why'd you word it like that? I wish I had a sneaky wife. You know what I mean? Little sneaky wife action. That sounds like it's something different. Never mind. I take that. I take that back. I'm going not the asshole. Yep. We're going not the asshole. Ooh, this one was pretty divisive too. Damn, nice. We've got some good holes. We've got some good hole polls. We've got another one. We've got another one. It's a fucking read. Am I the asshole, 38M, for cutting back on work to prove a point to my wife, 30F? I smell bait. Could be. I have 8 years of extra experience on my wife and make more, so I'm going to be awful to her. What I expect the situation to be? Yeah, right? My wife is usually an angel of a woman, but has recently gotten into a friendship with a woman who I personally believe is a bad influence on her. Not in a patronizing way, more of a lay down with dogs, get up with fleas type of situation. Oh. Oh my God. We are already screaming misogyny. I never said anything about her childlessness or her very radical misandry because frankly it doesn't affect me. Until it did. A few months ago, my wife began pressuring me to do more around the house. Before I get an instant yes the asshole, we already split chores and childcare. Admittedly, she had a bigger cut than I because she is a stay-at-home mom, but I do most of the cooking, breakfasts, and dinners. Lunch is her responsibility for her and the boys. I take out the garbage. I do laundry. I deep clean the bathrooms once a week. I do also help with our boys' homework and such. She insists that I'm not doing enough and that I should be doing more around the house. I tried having discussions with her, asking what she expected from me, namely all chores and child rearing should be my duty, it seems. And for months, it seemed to be going nowhere. She used the D word more than once when speaking on this, which felt manipulative. The D word? Is it dick? Oh, divorce. It boiled over when we were out with friends one night. She began talking about how I never helped out and how I used her as a house slave. Her words, I will admit I saw red. This next part is where I may be an asshole. I didn't say anything that night, but the next day I asked my boss to be given reduced hours for the next little bit due to stress. And I took over everything in the house. I cooked breakfast and made lunch for the boys before I drove them to school. I cleaned the house top to bottom. I did every dish we had twice, and so on. My wife was blindingly happy and bragged to her friend that she finally had me worn in. She didn't lift a finger for around a month. Then she began asking why we never went on dates anymore and complaining that she wanted to get her nails done as they were growing in. I explained that I had to take that out of our budget so that we could continue to afford everything else. But we could absolutely have a movie night in and I could paint her nails for her. She was unhappy with that solution, so I asked her if she would want to get a part-time job to pay for either luxuries. You would have thought I asked she wanted to join a cult. She then asked if I could just pick up more shifts at work to cover her other expenses, and used the phrase, be a man, which I found more than a little insulting. I then asked her if she could be willing to go back to splitting the chores and such, which is when she began to catch on that the two were related. She yelled at me that I was being a manipulative asshole for doing this and even claimed it was financial a word. I stood strong for a while, but now I'm questioning my methods because even I feel like what I did was a bit underhanded. Am I the asshole? Just undo some gender tropes here, y'all. Yeah, right. Go to therapy. Go to couples counseling. So first of all, unreliable narrator. We can't trust fucking anything this guy says about his wife. We cannot trust anything about this guy. A rational, logical person who has been described as an angel of a woman, when chores are split evenly, I don't think that she would be like, oh, you need to actually do everything in the house and also work the exact same amount. And also, I'm going to throw a fit that I can't get my nails done and we can't go out to eat because you're picking up more in the house. He's mad that his stay-at-home wife is having friends that he doesn't like. That's poisoning her mind. I wonder if this is the man who got mad about the Swiffer. Right? From the things that OP has said without any additional context, it does kind of sound like everyone's an asshole a little bit. It sounds like they both suck. However, let's go into the comments. My favorite part. Okay, so one of the comments that replied to the original post is quoting something that looks like it was removed from the original post because we did not read this. The response quotes, "She has a troubled history with men, and that's why I tend to be forgiving when things do happen." And the replier said, "She has a troubled history with men, or men have trouble with her." And then the OP responded, "It's not something I'm comfortable talking about, but believe me when I say what happened was not her fault." Weird energy at best. I have nothing wrong with feminism, so I'm proving to her that doing chores isn't hard by cleaning dishes twice. Right, it's weird. I don't see this context, but someone replied, "Honestly, I feel like her quitting her job to plan the wedding was financially abusive towards you." She quit her job to plan the wedding and then stayed as a stay-at-home mom? I guess we were just talking about how this doesn't make sense. This does not make sense. Male savior complex energy shit. Right. Yeah, I think I have to say everyone's an asshole because, like, the OP sounds like an extremely unreliable narrator in this instance. Really, really, really trying to sway opinion to himself. That's what it's giving. Honestly, OP's narrative, I really can't say one way or the other. He says they split the chores, but then talks about her like she's a trophy wife. Right. Just break up already. He's literally just a guy. He is not the love of your life.
He is not the love of your life. He is literally just a guy. Hit him with your car.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, and the drop right after that. That was so good. You could not have planned that shit. Yes. Probably why I haven't learned it. I get scared of attention. I'll give you attention, B. You best get ready for all this attention. Sorry. We're here. We're back.